I often hear this myth that every slot machine is the same. They all use RNG, they're all random, so just walk in the casino, pick one at random, don't worry about it, it really makes no difference. On a large scale, that's probably mostly true, but for someone that's playing a lot of slot machines, you can notice some pretty big differences. We've discussed RTP and payback percentages at pretty good lengths in this series. That's the average amount of money that the machine is designed to let the player win over time. If you want to see how that works, I explain different aspects of it in just about every video in this series, like how it works and which casino has the highest payback percentage, but payback percentage is kind of overblown. There's something called volatility that is arguably way more important. And this is episode 15 of my series of everything about slot machines. If you want to understand everything about slot machines and how to be a smarter gambler, you have to watch the whole series. Don't forget to hit the like button. Please consider subscribing. So what is volatility? Think of volatility as how many winners will there be on a slot machine, while payback percentage is how much will those wins be worth overall. Volatility is probably the most important thing for a game designer when figuring out how to make a game enjoyable for the player. I want to make a game that has a 90% payback percentage. How volatile should the game be to make it enjoyable? Now, it's easiest to understand volatility if we think about it from the two very extreme ends. No volatility and the highest volatility possible. Either one of those would make for a really bad slot machine. No volatility would mean you sit down at a slot machine, you bet $1, and then you win 90 cents. And then you spin for another $1, you win another 90 cents. And you just keep doing this over and over, bet $1, win 90 cents. Even though you're winning on every single spin, this game would get boring really fast. Your bankroll would just look like this over time. It's just a steady chart that has no changes and going straight to zero. On the other extreme, think of something like the Powerball jackpot. That's about the highest volatility you could possibly get. Millions of people play that every single day, and there might not be a winner for weeks at a time. If that were a slot machine, that would be tens of millions of spins without winning anything. Imagine going to the casino just year after year, probably your entire life, and every single spin, you don't win a single thing. Even though there's winners to the lottery, you most likely won't be one of them. So both of these machines could be set to pay back 90% of the money that they bring in, but they act completely differently. That's why slot machines have their volatility set somewhere in the middle. One way to think about this is how many winners will there be and how many losers. Let's say 10 people put $100 into a slot machine. Now the machine has $900 to dispense back. Are we gonna give it all to one guy, half to two people, 800 to one person, and then 9 get $1.11? You see, a game designer has to decide how many people are gonna be winners and how many people will be losers. And a really big, huge jackpot means there's gonna be very few winners. Smaller jackpots means there's gonna be more winners. So when looking for a machine, if you wanna win more often, look for a low volatility game with a small jackpot. Typically, the flashier the machine, games with your favorite characters on them, Game of Thrones or whatever, they are typically gonna be very high volatility. Most of the games that are older, more simple, they're gonna be low volatility. Not always though, but that's a pretty good rule to look for. That's not to say that every 3-reel slot machine is gonna be low volatility. If it has a huge jackpot or really big multipliers, that means it's designed to set aside a big portion of its winnings to give that back as the max jackpot. Stick to games with low jackpots, with no multipliers, no bonus rounds, nothing like that, and you'll probably win way more often. Another reason that there's sometimes very few winners is machines sometimes go on hot streaks and cold streaks. There's a really good reason for that, and it's not the conspiracy theories that you think. Be sure to watch the next video in the series, and I'll explain that in complete depth. Be sure to hit the like button and subscribe if you haven't already. Also, let me know if you guys have had more success with older games or the newer ones. Before your next Vegas trip, get educated. Thanks for watching.